Alright, here we go. Going to tear apart the rear suspension in this thing. Get this 8.8 inch axle out of here to make room for the 2017 Mustang independent rear suspension. Getting a 355 limited slip, which is a whole lot better than the 410 open, which was way too low in gears. 2600 RPM or so on the highway versus hopefully a whole lot lower. So let's get going and tear this thing out. Now, if you've ever worked on an old Ford truck, you realize that in order to get any of this stuff out, you have to cut about 1 million rivets off the frame. There's mounting points everywhere for all these different pieces. When you're doing the Crown Vic part up front, one of the hardest parts was just getting all the factory cross members and brackets off. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make an X cut here and here, and then I'm going to come back with my air chisel, knock the rivets off, and just shove them through. First thing you get some doors. Okay, here we go. Let's see if this works. It's a pretty beat up tip, but let's try. Like that. Okay, so I've gone ahead and pulled all the bolts out of the leaf packs, front and rear. I should shut the video off because I'm pretty sure everybody does want to hear my air compressor running. But, drop it. See what happens. I'm gonna have to hit it from here a few times. That's okay. Maybe we'll just use a bar. Be a little less violent. That's good. There we go. Nothing to it. These springs hung up on a jack stand here. And away we go. There. Now some more work. We got to get these rivets out off the front spring hangers and rear spring hangers. We're gonna have to take this cross member out because we got the Mustang gas tank going here. So let's get this all cleaned up and I'll bring in the new suspension and we'll see how it kind of lines up. Well, there you go. We did a quick cleanup. Went ahead and brought the IRS suspension over. Use my engine hoist to pick it up and set it on a pair of jack stands. Get it in underneath the frame. What's really nice surprise is that if you look down the side of the subframe, it is almost the same width as the F100 frame. So all we have to do is make a couple tabs here and a couple more up here, some brackets I guess, to kind of come down and meet the subframe. Haven't decided exactly how I'm going to bolt it in, just because I know a lot of the Mustang guys are getting rid of the factory bushings just due to flex and wheel hop, so we might just try to make it as solid as we can. The one nice thing here that looks like it's going to work out is the previous notch in the frame for the axle on the 8.8 lines up pretty nice with the upper control arm on the Mustang suspension. Might have to widen it out a little bit to get it to go as low as I want it to go, but in the meantime I'm going to go down to the Ford dealership and lay under a couple cars and kind of see how the suspension is supposed to be set up. Want to get some angles off of it, see what the front and rear angle is, I guess you would say, just to get it level under the truck so it sits in there the way that Ford designed it to, so the suspension cycles through its travel in the proper way, so it doesn't, it just maintains its caster, I guess you would call it, as it comes through the suspension cycle. But all in all, it looks like it's going to be a good fit. Get that big beefy rear sway bar. This thing should handle amazing. Here's the tire combination I'm running. It's a 305 35 19 with a Nitto with ESR wheels. These are 19 by 10.5. It's wide. I'm really hoping that it's gonna run without too much modification, but if I had to, I'll do what it takes to get this underneath the bed of the truck. The springs look like they're gonna line up maybe just under the frame. And then we'll just build some spring plates here, beef those up real good, and I'm going to try to run that factory Mustang coil just because I really don't want to shell out for coilovers at this point. I'm already getting some coilovers in the front, and with buying this and everything else, getting a drive shaft built again, it's going to be enough money out this year. Still going to have to build a new exhaust. Not much room now to go through. I don't want to dump it under the truck because that's just crazy annoying the way it drones on the highway. So I'm going to try to go underneath like the factory did on the Mustang. Maybe I'll even try to find a takeoff Mustang exhaust that I can use to get the bends to go underneath. And then I'll finish it up on the back. Remember, I got a fuel tank that's got to go in here too. It's going to be a lot of stuff in one small space in the end. But for now, it looks like it's going to work out pretty good. Hopefully I didn't make everybody too seasick with my shaky camera work here. You can see where I've cut the frame down. This truck used to be a long box truck. I plated the inside. I still got to cut an access hole so I can get to the bed bolts. The bed itself is still a work in progress. It just needs a whole bunch more tack welds and a whole bunch more grinding, but that stuff's pretty boring when we got fun stuff like this to complete. And up front, new coilovers going in, some bigger brakes. It's going to be an interesting year.